ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ओम्। पार्थाय प्रतिबोधिताम् भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथिताम् पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीम् भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्दधामि। भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। My namaskars to you all. In the last class, we had come to the conclusion of the 8th chapter, and from today we would be beginning the 9th chapter. Now here what you will see in this 9th chapter, that it seems from a flow of ideas which was progressing after 6th chapter into 7th chapter, and in 7th chapter somehow at the end there as if appear digression due to some terminologies used by Bhagavan and further those being asked to explain by Arjuna. So Akshara Brahma Yoga, and that's why you will see ideas of the 7th chapter now reappearing in the 9th chapter. So 7th chapter was called as Jnana Vijnana Yoga. What is knowledge and what is special knowledge or wisdom, you can say. Special knowledge. Vishesha Jnana, that is Vijnana. Vijnana we generally use in our colloquial language or speaking, Vijnana for science. Okay. But Jnana and here Vijnana is this, V is the prefix. V stands for Vishesha. Vishesha Jnana. So knowing something especially well. I know something, but I know something especially well. That is Vishesha Jnana, and that was pointed out, those ideas were pointed out in the 7th chapter. Just to remind how you will connect to those ideas, for example, so those ideas would be reappearing here. For example, what is the Vishesha Jnana? So, it is one way of that knowledge about the infinity, that consciousness being pervaded everywhere and everything what exists is but he alone, Ishvara or that Brahman alone. Like for example, here he says, मत्त परतरम नान्यत किंचित अस्ति धनंजय मयि सर्वमिदं प्रोतम सूत्रे मणिगणायुः. That there exists, O Arjuna, nothing but me. Matta parataram nanyat, no anyat, nothing other than me. Kinchit, kinchit api, kinchit asti. So whatsoever, nothing exists other than me. So whatever, I am the true essence of existence. I am the existence itself. I am that. So pointing out to that reality. And here, I again and again I have referred to this word, this second part of 12th verse. Like then after saying this thing, he is saying that I am everywhere. Like he is starting with the verse number 8. Rasoham apsu kamteya. That I am the rasa of apsu means up means water. I am the rasa of the water. That liquidity of the liquid nature of water itself, that nature itself I am. Prabhasmi Shashi Surya Yoho. Shashi means Chandra, Surya means sun, and their Prabha, their brilliance. I am that. I am that their brilliance itself. So if that brilliance is taken out, what remains? Probably remains nothing. That's why, meaning that I am the essence. I am the one thing which gives character to varied these things, multivariate these things which come into existence. On the basis of which they are differentiating one from another. I am that which gives that particular character to that particular thing. Anything. So, speaking in a way, he is speaking in this way, like as general as thing that water, which is very common, that the glorious, these shining stars, Shashi, Surya, etc. Pranava Sarva Vedeshu. So, he is expressing this idea. These are not the particulars. It is not to be understood in this way that I am the Prabha of Shashi Surya. So, if there is a brilliant another star, then I am not that. It is not to be understood in this way. This is not the particular. It is like speaking in a way, giving him or putting that idea into some examples. That is to be understood. Pranama Sarva Vedeshu Shabda Khe Paurusham Drushu. This has been already explained. But Paurusham Drushu, so a manliness in a man. That Shabda, that is sound, which is related to the element of Akasha. Kha means Akasha. So he is in these different examples, he says, I am the sound of that element Akasha, Shabda Ke. Pranava Sarva Vedeshu. I am the Omkara, Pranava of among all Vedas. So meaning that I have become everything again and again, these ideas in different ways, then 8th verse, 9th verse, etc. In 12th verse he is saying, Echaiva Satvika Bhava Rajasastamasastaye, and here he makes the statement. Okay. So this second part of this 12th verse, that is important. And this you will be seeing again referred in the 9th chapter. What is that part? He says, Matta eveti tan vidhi. They all bhavas, all modifications of your mind, Satvika, Rajasic or Tamasic. Know that vidhi, tan, or those all, Matta eva eti. They all come from me only. This is the one statement, and this is the last quarter. What does he say? Natu aham teshu. That, but I am not in them. They are in me. So this all varied manifestation, as if our common expression is God is in everything. God is saying, mark that I am not in them, they are in me, they exist in me. They do not exist apart from outside of me. So this is very cryptic to understand. What does this mean? So it is philosophically important also. So a lot of discussion about this from a different philosophical point of view. But I had explained this earlier. Why does this mean? I am only referring these verses from the 7th chapter because they will again come here for discussion in the 9th chapter. So it's now this idea. So as if Bhagwan is coming back to the original discussion which was going on before this 8th chapter came in. So this 9th chapter is called as Raja Vidya Raja Guhya Yoga. So again, Raja Vidya, it can be said as the Vidya or that specific knowledge. Raja, if we consider it as a king. So maybe the queen of all knowledge, the highest knowledge, in that sense, Raja Vidya, the highest knowledge. And the Raja Guhya, Guhya means secret, the greatest secret. This Vidya, this knowledge. So, and yoga through this knowledge. So, similar expression is used for the 7th chapter, Jnana Vijnana. Here, Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya, the queen of all knowledge, the greatest secret of all knowledges, and yoga attained with the help of such knowledge. Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya Yoga. People translate it, Swamiji also has used such kind of reference that Raja means king, so kingly knowledge. So in a sense, Swamiji said that the knowledge of the Upanishads or Brahma Vidya, that was specifically the forte of the kings, the monarchs, the royalties, and they promulgated it. How wonderful. So Brahma Vidya was especially the fortune of or the possession of the kings, Kshatriyas. So, and the secret, this knowledge itself, why it is called a secret? Because as if in the plain sight, it is hidden from us. So, again referring to this knowledge, so there is no something magical or esoteric about it. This is referring to the same Brahma Vidya. Okay. So Bhagavan says, this is the first verse. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshamya na suyave jnanam vijnana sahitam yad jnatva mokshase shubhat. So, idam, this, that guhyatamam, that is the most secret, jnana, vijnana sahitam. Then again coming back to same, referring to the 7th chapter, jnana vijnana sahitam. Bhagavan is again saying that. He has said, used the similar expression in the just beginning of the 7th chapter. So he had used it. So second verse, Jnanam teham savidjnanam idam vakshami asheshatah. He has used the similar kind of expression here also. He says that same again, Jnanam vijnana sahitam, meaning that knowledge along with that specific knowledge, special knowledge, with that depth knowledge. Pravakshami. Pravakshami means I will tell you. I will teach you. Anasuyave, referring to the very good nature, character of Arjuna. So, Asuya is like the person who is always grumbling. So, always complaining. So, nothing is perfect for him. All the time finding fault is something, someone. Always. always weeping, won't do anything, even if he is satisfied to its fullest extent, still he will not act. He will find another excuse. For such a person, there is no spiritual life. The complaints of person, for there is no spiritual life. So, this character, that not finding fault, is called as asuya. And the similar expression is used for the Arjuna anasuyave, the person who has such a character. So Bhagavan is saying that I will tell you this, the most hidden treasure of this knowledge, along with that depth dimension of it. And he says that yajñātva, knowing which. Jnātva means knowing, yat means which. Knowing which. Mokshase, that you will be liberated. Mokshase, you will be liberated. Mokshase, you will attain moksha. And he says ashubhat, from ashubha, which is not shubha. That whatever meaning that this samsara itself, that when what is ashubha, what is ill, what is wrong, which generates from your selfishness, that becomes ashubha. All vices, all sins, they begin from this inappropriate, inordinate desire to covet your self-interest. And all virtues, they begin from their root, their foundation lies in sacrifice and renunciation, tyaga and vairagya. All virtues, they have its root into sacrifice, unselfishness. Now, so meaning that this knowledge, Bhagavan, he says in the beginning of this 9th chapter that again I am pointing that to you. I will preach unto you pravakshami. So the next verse, what does it say? It says this Raja Vidya, then again Jnana and Vijnana Sahitam. Then Bhagavan is using this word. This is Raja Vidya, Raja Guiham, Pavitram, Idam Uttamam. This is the king of all sciences, all knowledges, Vidyas, and it is the kingly secret, that is the deepest of all profound truths. That is Rajaguhyam, such is this knowledge. And it is Pavitram, it is purifying, and it is Uttamam, it is the best among things, it is the best among. So it is in its eulogy, Bhagavan is using that this is the thing to be known, this is the thing to be coveted, this is the thing to be possessed, acquired. Pavitram, that is Pavitra, it is purifying. So Idam Uttamam, it is the best one. And Pratyaksha Avagamam, Pratyaksha Avagamam. Avagaman means knowledge, knowing something. Avagaman. And Pratyaksha means directly. It is to be directly known. Pratyaksha Avagamam Dharmyam. So there this book you might have heard, a very famous treatise by Shankaracharya on Advaita Vedanta, that is called as, that book is known as Aparokshanubhuti. What is the name of the book? Aparokshanubhuti. Aparoksha Anubhuti. So now, in Vedanta, now this here this three terms. One is Pratyaksha. Now, Pratyaksha, this word is of our common use. Many times we use this word. In Marathi, of course, it is very common, pratyaksha. So what does it mean? Prati and aksha. From these two words, it becomes pratyaksha. So aksha means what? Aksha means your eyes. Aksha means eyes. And prati means which is directly before your eyes. So you do not have second-hand information. You are the first-hand recipient of that knowledge, of that instance, particular instance. Pratyaksha. And when I say I have second-hand knowledge, indirectly somebody told me, etc. So that knowledge we call as paroksha. Para-aksha. So this visarga paraha, that becomes paro and aksha. Paroksha. So it didn't happen in front of my eyes, or I didn't hear directly, I didn't touch that directly, or smelt it, or tasted it, not directly, but I heard credible news or views about it, opinion about it. But that knowledge would be called as paroksha jnana. That is called as paroksha jnana. Not through my senses directly. That is the meaning. And now there comes this third term. What is that third term? It is called as aparoksha. Now, here I say paroksha means not directly through my senses. Now negating the aparoksha, then again negating. So what does it will mean? Negating another negative things. So negating another negative thing, that I was not absent. What does it mean? Absent. So I was present. Okay. So absent is not present. It was not that I was not present, but whether you were present, that is the question. So you are playing with the words. Alright. So otherwise you would have simply said that I was present. Why would you put like that? It is not that I was not present. So that means you were not in the class. You were somewhere around the balcony or somewhere in the park doing something. You were not in the class. When you are saying that it is not that I was not present. It is not that I was absent. I was not absent. So where were you? You were not in the class. Where were you? So when I say paroksha is not directly through my senses. And when I say aparoksha, not that it is not directly through your senses. What you want to say? So aparoksha. So because not to give that meaning which is by pratyaksha, not through your senses. So this is the direct knowledge. This word is used, meaning that pointing out or driving this idea that it is not through the intermediary of the senses. Not through the intermediary of the senses. Because all our knowledge, they are through the intermediary of senses. So all data, they are pursued by that. By your eyes. So that's why they are called as indriya, means it is instruments. They are instruments. So without not through this instrument, not through these mediums. So who is having knowledge? Not only through the indriyas, but also not, so they are called as bahya karana. They are called as external instruments, indriya. Even, see, so long back, these people are so clear. Now these eyes, what we call it? So what exactly are your eyes? If I touch here, do you mean to say eyelid? No, of course not eyelids. Then what? Then retina? Is that the your indriya that you get the knowledge from it? No, not. Then what? Cornea? What? You go deeper, suppose. Or when I say ears, so you means ear? Do you hear from here? No, this is not the ear. So then I point out to these pits. Then what? Those hollow holes? Do you hear from them? No, there is the further. Then what? Eardrum, you hear from them. So if that is only there, will be able somebody able to hear. Similarly with all other senses. So what Vedanti, the Hindus, they are saying, they do not call this thing as Indriya, they call this thing as Indriya Dwara. See? What great idea they had. They are calling these things as Indriya Dwara, they are not the Indriya proper. So where are the Indriyas? They say Indriyas are inside. Like today's biology, they say, like these are the things, and there are particular lobes in your brain which are connected to, suppose for eye, for nose, so there is occipital lobe, okay. So dealing with the particular function of particular sense organ. So even if my eye is working fine, physically it is fine, but if there is a damage, I will not be able to see, or probably see something different, or maybe something else, or hear a different kind of thing. So your sense experience is there distorted or altered, you can say. Now they are in the Indriya Dwaras. Okay. So Indriyas are called as Bahya, external instruments. External instrument? Is there something internal instrument also? Yes, that's why they are called as external instrument. And then what is internal instruments? We say it Anta-karana, that means Anta means inner, and Karana means Upakarana or instrument. Anta-karana. So inner instrument, what is Anta-karana? Then Anta-karana Chatushtaya, Mana Buddhi Chitta Ahankara. So both these together, they are the instruments of knowledge. And when I say Aparoksha Anubhuti, that Aparoksha Jnana means that not through the intermediary of both these instruments. So my mind is not involved, my buddhi is not involved, my chitta is not involved, my ahankara is not involved. All our knowledge are of the sphere of this, that I get to know, suppose even if I do not see something fully. So there is pratyaksha, then there is anumana, etc. 6 pramanas of knowledge or 6 ways of knowledge are accepted by the Uttar Mimamsa or Vedantics. So, Pratyaksha is one of them. Like Anumana is another of them. Shabda or Adhikarik Purusha, knowledge of the such person, that is also one of them. So, there are other Upapatti, Anupatti, etc. So, now, Aparoksha Jnana is therefore the direct perception, the direct knowledge of the truth. Then the question arises, what does this direct knowledge means? What does this direct knowledge means? What is it different? Means direct knowledge means definitely it is not referring to the Pratyaksha Jnana. Like, I see this bottle. Somebody said, which brand is this? Read the label. Okay, this is Bisleri. Are you sure? Read it. Yes, it is in my hand. I am reading it. Where is the confusion? So, okay, alright. So, I am having the direct perception of certain things. I am reading this. Okay. Not this Pratyaksha Jnana. That's why they are called as Aparoksha Jnana. So all our relative knowledge of this world, of its objects of knowledge, Vishaya, they are through the intermediaries of these instruments, external as well as internal. External sense organs and internal this quadrifold nature of the mind, Antakarana Chatushtaya, fourfold aspect of this inner instrument, fourfold, that being Mana, Chitta, Buddhi and Ahankara. So, if these are instruments of knowledge, who is getting the knowledge? Who knows? That is the question. If I say this is instrument suppose like magnifying glass. So magnifying glass is the instrument, I know the thing with the help of magnifying glass. Or any other instrument, if I use, the instrument is not the knower. So that means your antakarna, including your mana, buddhi, chitta and ahankara, they are not the knower. They are not the knower. They do not know. Knowledge do not happen to them. It does not come to them. Knowledge do not come to mana, buddhi, chitta and ahankara, as well as, of course, not to your sense organs also. Your sense organs do not know. Knowledge do not happen to them. What a wonderful and great concept. And it is very abstruse. For that it is said in Vedanta or these things, you require a great intellect to be. Great intellect does not mean to miss you have lot many college degrees. That it cannot be equated. One cannot be equated with other. Because we see even the illiterate people, when they have this knowledge and experience, they can understand, but not necessarily and very literate person. There is like a meeting of, there is one full chapter of Sri Ramakrishna's meeting with Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Now you know how highly qualified and that individual was. He was also a great person, great character he had, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. He had read all 6 darshanas of Hindu darshanas, Astika darshana, but he could not understand, could not believe. It happens with the great individuals like even Sarvapalli Radhakrishna. Ishwar Chandra used this word, Brahmadhyana is Brahmadhyana. So he was not convinced. It is very difficult. So Ishwar, great intellectual person like Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, along with the character. Now here is another example, very contrary to it. There was one disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, monastic disciple, Swami Bhutananda. He was illiterate. Sri Ramakrishna tried to teach him some alphabets, which he could not do. Okay? And now he and one of Swami Vivekananda's disciples, Swami Shuddhananda, once they went for some work in Calcutta, from Belur Math. And from there happened to be a class of one great Pandit who was exponencing on Katha Upanishad. And because they had some time, they went to the lecture to hear the Pandit, the scholarly erudition, exposition of that Upanishad. So Panditji, he was explaining as he was taught by the Guru Parampara of his teachers, preceptors. And now he is explaining that nature of the Atman, that mantra was going on. And this person, Swami Adbhutananda Latu Maharaj, as soon as he heard those words, he was ecstatic. And he was not able to contain himself. He was so much, was not able to, because that experience or that recollection of that experience came to him, and he was not able to contain himself with the joy of remembering that experience. He said that Sudhir, meaning Shuddhananda Swami, Sudhir, that Pandit, what Pandit is saying is right. What Pandit is saying is right, is correct. Means he is approving what Upanishad is saying. So person like Latu Maharaj or such person who have that direct perception of that truth, of that experience, They are the proof of the Upanishads. This comes in the Narada Bhakti Sutra, where it says, like we say, Shastra. So they are meant to discipline you. And I will say, who gives them the authority? Who gives them authority to rule over us, to discipline us? Who gives them authority? Then they say, Shastri Kurvanti Shastrani. That who gives them authority? The people who realize those truths, and this is what they speak. That's how they get their authority. A great idea. Why that book is powerful? Why that book is supposed to discipline and dictate the term of discipline? Because it is based on the highest realization of those people. They are called as Shastri. Shastri Kurvanti Shastrani. So, Shastranis, these Shastras, they are created by such people who realize this truth. So, person like Latu Maharaj is approving what is said in the Upanishad is right. Upanishads, they might be written, revealed before the Rishis 10,000 years back. Here, today, in 1890s, 1900, one person is saying, without knowing that the words, language, or those books, he is saying that is right what is being said. What a great idea. And this is Aparoksha Jnana. So, knowledge is not happening to the Chitta, Buddhi, Mohanankara or Indriyas. So, there is something who is knowing. What I was saying that even this Upanishad, I was saying this great intellect is required. And that's why I cited the example of Latu Maharaj. Upanishad says, Sukshmaya Sukshmadarshi Vidhi. This Sukshma Buddhi, when they say to praise the intellect, what kind of intellect is required? This refined intellect, very fine intellect. Why fine they say? Because it should have that penetrating nature. From the vagueness and confusion, it should be able to crystallize the truth. So, tremendous intellect is required. So, another adjective is used is Parimarjita Buddhi. Parimarjita means, Marjana means, Parimarjita means what? Not Parimarjita, is not limited. Not limited. How can we limit it? Marjana means, आप बर्तन मांजना जिसको बोलते हैं मांजना, मंजन. So that is marjana. So properly, so like that, how a vessel is suppose nicely scrubbed and then it shines and is clean. So intellect which is scrubbed like that, all that are cleaning. So parimarjita, shining like that. So scrubbed of all impurities, all burdens, no string attached, pure, refined intellect. To understand this truth. So who is getting the knowledge? Who is the knower? If these are the instruments, who is the knower? Who uses this instrument? And then comes the truth, the reality which lies beyond these instruments, these mind, intellect, your sanskaras, repository, your old record, old smritis, that's chitta, and your ego, ahankara or identification with body-mind complex, this notion that is called as ego. So these fourfold faculties. So the truth which lies beyond it, that is the knower, and knower knows this knowledge itself, not through the intermediary of mind stuff, antakarana or indriyas. So this is what the Shastras, Upanishads, they are saying. So when you say, somebody said, if you cut your body, where is the Atma? So Atma is not the subject of mind. or your indriyas. It is not indriya grahya. So Atma is not such a substance which is to be cut open and seen. Sukshma, it is not material, its nature itself is not material. Can you think of anything non-material? Your intellect, it will end, you will reach the limit of your thinking capacity if I ask to consider a non-material proposition. Because in the terms of Vedanta, even a thought, which is the faculty, which is the production of the mind, it will be considered and treated and termed as matter only. Thought is matter. For the Vedantis, for Hindus, thought is matter. Alright. So it is contradiction in itself. Can you think of non-material? If you think, it will be material. Do you understand this? So there is one entity which is non-material, which is not jada, which is Chaitanya. And that is you. That is me. That is the reality and substratum of you. That is the essence of existence. That essence of existence is called referred as Chit. Essence of knowledge is referred as, essence of existence is referred as Sat. Essence of knowledge is referred as Chit. And if essence of depth experience is called as Ananda. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Now, this Satchidananda, this is the Atma, this is what truly I am. This is what truly you are. This is what truly everything is. This is what the only thing which exists. That's why it is called as Vastu. Everything else is considered as Avastu, non-existence. You do not exist at all. Avastu. This Sri Ramakrishna is again and again you will find saying in Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Vichar. He is saying vichar korte ho. So what is vichar? Vichar is not just thought. Vichar is reasoning. Vichar is reasoning. How you have to reason? So that Ishwar hi ekmatra vastu, that Ishwara alone is the vastu and everything else is avastu. That it is the only thing that exists. Everything else is illusion. That's why Bhagavan says, I do not exist in it, it exists in me. This is my dream exists in me. I do not exist in dream. I am the superset. I do not. So we are putting it, what the reality is, to put it across. So that Arjuna should not confuse one thing for other. That's why Bhagavan again and again he will be coming to that phrase. That, see again I am warning Arjuna, do not mistake. Because he is saying that I will tell you that truth. The greatest secret. The queen of all wisdom. I will tell you. And that's why he is very particular about this passion. Natvaham te shude mai. This is that place. So, you will see here in the fourth verse itself, he will say again this thing. So, Pratyaksha avagamam dharmyam. Pratyaksha avagamam. This phrase I try to made you understand. Though Bhagavan is saying here Pratyaksha, it is not to be taken literally in this way that you know through your senses. As while explaining philosophical standpoint of view, these things are made clear. Pratyaksha, Paroksha and Aparoksha. So now Pratyaksha is the sensory knowledge and Bhagavan has used the word Pratyaksha here. It does not mean you have the sensory knowledge of the thing. No. It is referring to that knowledge, what we call as Aparoksha Anubhuti. Pratyaksha Avagamam. You will know directly. You referring to the Atman itself. Atman knows Atman. Sri Ramakrishna used the word bodhe, bodh. That bodh, that chetana, the consciousness, you get the chetana in the chetana itself. And that's it. It is futile to talk about. You cannot talk about. So, how to talk? How to explain? How to think? How to imagine this? Whatever we would be talking, we would be, we would be always short of it. Always. It is supposed to be. Because the truth is, avang manasa gocharam. My vani cannot reach there. It is not supposed to. It is beyond that. The truth cannot be brought into the periphery of the words. Words can never fulfill this function. Sri Ramakrishna used the word bodhe, bodhve. So, that's why Vedantis, they say, or they emphasizes on one aspect, that let the ignorance go away, drive out the ignorance, and then what remains? Remains. Because you cannot speak positively about it. Everything speaking positively about it is going to be wrong and incomplete and imperfect. So let us not speak about that. Buddha also approached the same thing. Buddha's approach. So he said, whether God is there or not there, he said, don't ask. This is the problem, try to do this. Okay. So you have been hit by the arrow, it is painful, remove the arrow. This is the cause of the ignorance, try to remove it away. And whatever the truth is, you will know by yourself. So do not break your head about the nature of the truth itself. Remove the ignorance and you have the knowledge. So do not ask about the knowledge what it is. So, pratyaksha avagamam. So that truth will be known directly to Arjuna. That is that Raja Vidya. That is that Raja Guhya. That is the purity itself. And that is the highest, Uttamam. The best. There is nothing tops it. Nothing in this world, nothing in this creation, nothing a man and a soul can have. That is the greatest thing ever. And this is to be directly pursued. Dharmyam. So it is the basis. So what does Maharaj use the translation for dharmyam? It is endowed with immense merit. So dharmyam means it is the basis of dharma itself. Dharma. It is sukham, that everything you will be able to do with ease, sukham. That your means putting it in our modern day context, your complicated life will become simpler. The truth is said simpler. Simple life either children have, animals have, or idiots have. These three people can have simple. And the fourth category is the Jivan Mukta Paramahansa Mahapurush. Children can have a simple life. Animals can have a simple life. Idiots also can have a simple life. It doesn't matter. All other thinking grown-up beings, they have complicated life. Every time there are so many factors to weigh in, to even to decide a simple thing. Even to speak to someone, or whether to do this, not do that. As a person becomes civilized, so many things makes his life so complicated. So if you are very sensible, very mature individual, your life is, they have complexity to it. As much you are idiot, then the life can become all the more simpler. Do not think, just do one way or other. What is the difference? देख लेंगे. So if you think less, then okay, इधर आर्ट्स को जाना है, कॉमर्स को जाना है, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, चले जाएंगे. 35% तो है, क्या करने? So life can be simpler. जिसके पास पैसे नहीं है, उसको क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है? वो शेयर मार्केट गिर रहा है कि कौन उधर यूक्रेन पे, रोज का दिहाड़ी पे जाना है, खाना पीना करना है, काम करना है, सो जाना है. और किसी दिन कोई भंडारे में जाने को मिल गया तो बोनस, काम खत्म. जिसके पास पैसे, उसको रात को नींद नहीं आ रही. अरे बोले उसने ऐसा स्टेटमेंट दिया है, किसने क्या स्टेटमेंट दिया तो इसका ब्लड प्रेशर बढ़ गया. लाइफ बिकम्स कॉम्प्लेक्स, है कि नहीं? सुसुखम. दिस Holy Mother said about this was his nature, that and in Vedanta, this studying this idea came that truth is simple. Now I thought, what is the meaning of this? Truth is simple. It does not look like that. It is not meaning that it is not easily available. Simple in the sense, what does simple means? So then I understood, and then when I was taking these classes on Gita, I said always understand simple as against compound, like in chemistry. There are simple elements and there are compound molecules. Okay? So simple means there is only one thing and there is no other thing. Ekam eva advitiyam. There is no dvitiya. So that is the nature of the simplicity. So when this simplicity, this such truth, which is the simplicity, is the nature of such truth, that truth is realized, the people rise. You see, this peace is attained by them. Great peace, so much that if you go near them, you feel it. Like there is a big ice block, you are coming from the heart somewhere, you go near it, without touching, you feel its presence. That knowledge, if I say something, okay, if I myself have not understood, you will know it. I am simply saying it, I have not understood. You will know it. Even if you have known it or not, or you have understood it or not, but you will know that I have not understood it properly. Isn't it? So, this simplicity, this susukham dharmyam. So, that person, this, how he has to conduct, what is the basis of dharma, he do not have to decide, he is not confused about it. This simplicity is attained, susukham kartum avyayam. So that truth is avyayam, that which cannot be divided into parts. It is one, that meaning it is infinite. Avyayam means ananta. It means akshara. That if it is undivided, so there cannot exist any other thing. So why? Because if I say it is undivided, anything existing alongside of it will define its margin. So if something exists other than that, then it can affect it. If it affects it, then it becomes changeable. If it becomes changeable, then it can degrade, deteriorate and die. So this is not such truth. So it means if it cannot be divided, then by corollary, there should not exist anything alongside of it. If does not anything exist alongside of it, then it must be one and only, and that must be then it must mean that it is infinite. Without that, this is not possible logically. So that means Aveya means Akshara, Kutastha and Ananta. So this is the nature of that truth. And it will dharmyam and again susukham kartum aveyam. So your dharma, you would be able to follow very naturally susukham kartum. There will not be any. So this is that Raja Vidya, this is that Raja Guhya, the greatest secret. And it is of the holy nature. It is not of the evil something. Pavitram. This is the greatest. This is directly pursued. And that nature of that truth is Avayam, Ananta, Akshara, Kutastha. And what will happen? It will enable you. Because this is the primary confusion of the Arjuna. Then what is his kartavya? So here Bhagavan is making it clear that once you know this, Arjuna, so your dharma, it will be enabled, you will be able to kartum susukham. With sukha. Very easily, very naturally, you will be able to discharge your duties. There would not be any confusion. There would not be any deliberate attempt or trouble or pain on your part to perform your own kartavya. What a great idea it is. So for dharma to be followed, to do this, truth is required, which is designated by this Jnanam, Savidjnanam, Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam. This enables you to what is the adhar, what is the root, what is the substratum, what is the foundation of dharma? This truth. Without this truth, there is no dharma. And remember these two things, dharma and paramartha, dharma and adhyatmic jivan. So dharma is something intertwined with the sansara prapancha. Adhyatmic jivan or paramartha is totally different dimension which deals in this truth, Brahma Vidya or Moksha Vidya as it called. This is the dimension of the paramartha. And now this is the basis of the dharma. So dharma, artha, kama, moksha, your dharma, artha and kama, all they are based on the moksha. Moksha is the basis of dharma. So only dharma will not save you. Moksha is important. Adhyatma is important. Paramartha is important. And having then your dharma, you will have the greater knowledge. Then it becomes dharmyam susukham kartum. It becomes easier, natural for you. You will understand what is the duty, what is the kartavya. Swami has again and again, at least two times I have seen that. In Karma Yoga also, what is the duty? Which takes you further towards moksha, which liberates you. That action alone is your duty. How you decide what is your dharma, which furthers your progress towards moksha, that is the dharma. So somebody should not kill or somebody should kill for different people in different situation or even for an individual in different contexts. Both apparently contradictory actions might be dharma. Do you understand this? So dharma is not stringent do's or don'ts. What you were supposed to do, how you are supposed to act, there is a criteria, that is moksha. It dictates, it determines this term of your dharma, how you should act, what should be most appropriate thing for you to do. As soon as we take the only dharma perspective, you do not do something as prescribed, you are immediately condemned, you go to hell. Moksha has never such attitude. it does not have any condemnation for anything, any person, howsoever and whatsoever depth he may fall. It will always talk about what to do next to attain the moksha, to travel towards this direction. They are always positive attitude. So this is the perspective of moksha. And Gita, Srimad Bhagavad Gita is the moksha shastra. Okay? So contemplate and worship this Bhagavad Gita as much possible. So it is the great source and fountainhead of this nectar called Advaita Vedanta. So in its in the beginning verse which we chant from this Gita Dhyana, so there this phrase comes Advaitam Amrutam Varshinim. This is the adjective word used for Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So said by Bhagavan Krishna to the Arjuna and through Arjuna for all humanity. So here we take the break. We have concluded this second verse. From third verse we will take. So next Sunday class होगा तो नहीं कितना तारीख है नेक्स्ट संडे 25 तारीख है ना नहीं होगा क्लास ठीक है कि नहीं 24 से 30 तारीख वो भागवत सप्ताह चलेगा तो एक दिन एकादशी के दिन केवल कौन सा तारीख आता है 29 को अगर एकादशी है तो उस दिन केवल मंदिर में पाठ होगा बाकी सब दिन इधर क्लास होगा तो आइए आप लोग भी आइए श्रीमद् भागवत स्वामी जी लूसा का जाम्बिया से आ रहे हैं उनकी बहुत अच्छा अधिकार है भागवत शास्त्र पर बहुत तो आइए सुनने के लिए वहां से हम लोगों ने स्पेशली बुलाया है मठ में उनको प्रवचन देने के लिए 7 दिन 24 से 30 महाराज जी बोलेंगे भागवत का ठीक है तो अगले संडे क्लास नहीं है ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम तत्सत् श्री रामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु।